Well, good morning. We're back again with Chef ILona and myself. And we're back in the kitchen and we're cooking this morning lobster with that. So let's take at it.
Okay, so typically we all love our boiled lobster or steamed lobster. That's classic. We have to have our lobster feed. We're not going to mess with that. But after, we want to eat some other things with lobster. So what we're going to do is make a lobster Cobb salad. So this is the kind of salad that is a meal, and it's amazing to have out on the deck, enjoying the sunshine. It's a beautiful recipe for a sunny day because you're not really doing too much cooking. And it's always nice when you can pick up your lobster already cooked, which is great. So what we're going to start with, we're going to do a dressing, and it's going to have honey and mustard. And we have all of these awesome ingredients. We've got some tomatoes. I like a couple of different colors, but you know what? Use whatever you want. If you want to just get a big tomato, you can just dice that up. No big deal. Some cucumber. And I have from Glasgow Gouda cheese. We've got the Bluta, because usually a Cobb salad has blue cheese. We're going to use some Bluta, which is like different, a little bit different, yeah. And some bacon, and a little bit of shallots, some hard-boiled egg, and we're going to get into this avocado. I'm going to show everyone how to do that so we don't feel too like how to get into one of these bad boys.
Intimidating.
Yeah, sometimes. I find people sometimes are kind of, even my students, kind of are like, how do I do this? So we'll show you guys how to do that. But first, we're going to make salad dressing.
Okay.
Okay? So mason jars, what can't they do? They're great for glasses. They're great to make salad dressing. So in here, I have some olive oil and red wine vinegar. All right? So usually it's 3 parts olive oil, 1 part vinegar. So it doesn't matter how much you're making, 3 to 1. Okay? So to this, I'm going to get you to add maybe half of that garlic. I've done some grated garlic. You can just chop it up or mince it. No big deal. However you want to get it in there.
Okay.
That's perfect. Okay. You're going to add in a pinch of pepper.
A pinch?
Just a pinch.
What is a pinch? A pinch is a pinch.
Pinch.
There's a pinch.
That's a pinch. Okay. And so we got some mustard that's made on the island. I've got some roasted onion. I love the flavor of that. It's kind of sweet and a little bit tangy. It's going to help our dressing come together. So you're going to add about a 3/4 of that teaspoon for soups. Yep.
That much.
That looks great. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And some honey. We always need a little bit of sweetness. I'll pour some of that in. And
you know, some people drink out of mason jars.
I do. Perfect. Okay. I'm a little bit messy sometimes. And then, so now all you got to do, you don't even need to stir it up. What we're going to do, you're going to elbow grease. Remember, it's all about the elbow grease.
Okay.
Pinch of salt. You're going to pop that lid back on and give her a good shake.
A good shake.
Make sure the lid's on tight. That's the only piece.
Oh, we're going to golden going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It'll come together really nicely. And you can make this dressing. It goes great on any kind of salad, but it goes really well with the lobster. And that'll last in your fridge for about a week. So you can make the salad a few times. So it's good. That's it.
Stay sealed in the jar.
That's it. Yeah. Pop it in the fridge. You're good to go.
Keep on going?
That's it. No, that's it.
Okay.
Done and done. So next we're going to slice up our lobster just a little bit. We don't want to do anything too... We don't want to hide the beauty of this lobster. So we got some lobster tails here. So what I like to do is just kind of cut it on an angle like that. So it looks pretty on the plate, but again, it doesn't matter how you cut it up really. It's just if you want to make it a little bit nicer for presentation. So what I like to do, I'll lay the tail out flat, just like that, and then I cut it kind of on an angle, just like that. Yeah. So you want to try, you want to do a tail too?
Okay. So at an angle.
Yeah, just like, perfect.
Don't cut your fingers. It's nice when the lobster has lines on it, you just cut all the lines.
That's basically it, yeah. Awesome. So that's not hard, right?
No, that's pretty simple.
Perfect. Okay, so that's our lobster, and we'll kind of keep our claws. We want to keep them fairly intact. I like to maybe give it a little bit of a cut on one side. Just again, because I love to get the dressing into the lobster.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
So we'll have our claws.
Almost like you're marinating.
You got it. Exactly. So leave this claw, but this guy can get cut open a little bit, I think. That looks great. And we got one more tail. So we're gonna make enough for kind of a family for four servings, or party, whatever, or if you're really hungry. And that's good. So that's gonna be our lobster. So what we're gonna do, we're going to marinate that. I just need to grab a bowl. Perfect. And you can pop that lobster right into the bowl.
Pop the lobster.
Yep.
Just put it right in, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Okay.
I guess while we have it, I guess we can throw in the rest of that lobster. We may as well.
Yeah. I'll cut this up.
Yeah.
Pieces up.
Yeah.
I'll try that. So you just did from basically the top along the claw.
Yeah.
And come right across it.
Yeah, exactly. So just at least you have one side that's really pretty, so you have that claw presentation, and
yeah, you do. That was pretty.
Yeah. And that we can all that flavor in there. It's good.
You know, I've tried a lot of lobster, and I don't think you can beat PEI lobster.
No, you can't. So here's my question: do you prefer the male or female lobsters? Which one? Do you have a preference?
Not really, no. Actually, my father-in-law just got me into eating the roe.
Yeah.
So I've never done that before, but I enjoy that now. So
yeah, that's why I love the female lobsters. Because they have the roast. It's like you get a gift with purchase. So it's good.
You get the extra.
Yeah. And so we want to flavor up our lobster. So we're just going to do a little drizzle of this dressing, just to make sure that everything is flavored. That's kind of the trick here.
We're going to boil it over top.
Yeah, we're just going to
look at that.
Just add a little bit of that dressing. And so you're going to just give that a gentle toss with your spoon.
You don't want to put too much on.
No, just a little
to give a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, just like you would if you're putting dressing on a salad, right? You don't want to drown it. You're just going to put enough just to coat it. So we've got that.
Yeah, look at that.
Perfect.
Makes me want to eat it right now.
You can always give it a taste. You should. Get in there. It's nice, right? Nice and fresh. Lots of flavor. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to show you how to do the avocado. Okay.
You know what? I've never had an avocado.
See?
I've never had it before.
So now you're going to have all the info. So we're going to make sure your avocado is ripe, one of the good things you can do, you can see the top of the avocado, that's where the stem is, or it attaches to the plant. If you see that it's kind of almost like sunken in just a little bit, that's a good indication that it's nice and ripe. And also when you feel it, it's kind of soft to the touch. You don't want it to be mushy because then it's gone too far. Just kind of soft. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut around with our knife, just like that. And then you can
Why didn't you cut right through it?
Because there's a big seed in the middle.
I didn't know that.
So there you go. So we got our seed in the middle. So now what we want to do, we can take that seed out and just twist it.
Imagine that.
Okay? And so to prepare our avocado, we'll just kind of score just like that. The only trick with avocado, you want to cut it as close to eating as possible because it oxidizes and it'll turn kind of a not so pretty brown color.
Okay.
And then spoon. So again, simple tools. That's what it's all about. And we can just scoop it all out, and then you've got these beautiful slices, just like that.
Look at that.
Yep. Perfect.
That's pretty neat.
Yep. I'll put that on our salad in a minute. All right. Are you ready to start building?
Okay.
Okay. So let's get rid of our cutting board.
Get rid of the cutting board.
Get rid of the cutting board. Awesome. All right. So we're going to make this.
What do we have in here? Because I thought you had 2 or 3 different types of leaves or something.
Yeah, so this is a local blend of greens. So we've got, and you can use your favorites. So this is kind of a spicier green. It's tatsoi, and we've got some lettuce leaves. We've got red and mustard green. So it's just kind of a little bit of a spicy mix. But if you want to use iceberg, go for it. If you want to use romaine, fine. Whatever your favorite is. This is just a really great local blend that I like.
Where do these come from?
So this is from Pure Island Produce. Yeah, so he does some really beautiful, his herbs are amazing. He does such a good job with his produce. It's amazing. So I love using his stuff. Darren is his name.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to, again, we want to make sure that everything is dressed. And so what we're going to do is a kind of a pretty presentation. So usually when we do our salads, we kind of all just mix it all in and away we go. But we're going to do like a platter. So again, I'm gonna add in a little bit of dressing. Okay. And I'm gonna just throw in a couple of our shallots. You can use some red onion, just cut them really, really thinly. You don't want to have too many chunks. I just cut them into circles, but again, you cut them however you like. And you're gonna gently mix them together.
Do the same thing, get the dressing, the taste of the dressing all a little bit on everything, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. And that's what makes restaurant salads so good. That's what we do. We get the dressing on every component, so it's not just on the top and you have to do all the work to mix it all together.
How long have you been doing this for again?
I think, as I said, I've been cooking working in food since I was a teenager. But my first professional kitchen I worked in was in Niagara on the Lake many, many moons ago. So I think, yeah, I want to say 15 years ago, I think. I think that sounds about right. Yeah. Perfect. That looks amazing. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to, we're doing like kind of a rustic presentation. So we're just going to, and this is where you can play with your food. I always encourage people to play with their food. Don't be so serious. It's all good. Look at that. We haven't even had the lobster. It looks so pretty.
Let's move this over here a little bit.
Okay. So our next components, we're going to do our tomatoes. We're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to do a little bit, just a little drop of dressing. Not too much. You can toss that. Perfect.
So this is what I've been doing wrong with salads all these years. I've been putting all the stuff, all the ingredients on the plate, then adding the salad after. I should have been adding the.
Yeah, and that way you don't have too much. It's always the perfect amount.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So now I will add that to our plate. So again, you can be artistic, and this is a good activity actually. If you have any little hands in the kitchen, they love to put things on a plate and help with that. They love that. So we'll just drizzle and drape it. Again, I'm not doing anything too complicated.
No, you're not.
It's pretty simple, but look how pretty that comes out. So next is the fun stuff. So I'm going to let you use your inner child, and you're going to sprinkle your Gouda and your bacon and whatever.
My inner child.
Inner child, you got to play with food. Go for it. So that's our Gouda. So it's a Gouda that has the same kind of enzyme that they use, the bacteria that they make blue cheese with, but it's Gouda. So it's nice and mild. It's not that strong.
So something come to mind when you went and said it with the inner child. So my favorite song in the whole world is "Forever Young" by Rod Stewart. That's my favorite song.
Rod Stewart and I have the same birthday.
Really?
Yep. So there you go. Love it.
Mine just looks good.
Yep.
I'm not going to want to go back to the office today. How's that?
That's awesome. Perfect. Perfect.
Now it's more of the, or no.
Yep, you can do a little sprinkle on top.
What did you call this again?
They're shallots.
Shallots.
So they're like they're a little bit more delicate flavor than an onion. They're a little bit smaller, which is a lot nicer in a salad. They're not so hot like an onion might be. Okay, and so we'll put in some egg. So this is really good if you're doing the low carb thing. And we'll add in our hard-boiled egg. And so for the hard-boiled egg, we just put the eggs in the boiling water, 12 minutes, perfect cook. And we just sliced it up. Okay. And
6.5 minutes. 6.5 minutes is the way I like my eggs.
And then you turn
6.5 minutes.
And then you turn off the heat. Yeah, there's a couple. All right, yeah, there's definitely a couple different ways you can do that. And then we'll put in avocado just on top.
Look at this.
Like that. Oops, I dropped one. That's okay. And now, time for the star ingredients. Our lobster.
Lobster.
Okay.
I forgot about the lobster.
And again, so we want to try to take, you can put it all in the middle if you wanted to, but I'm going to try to, again, drape it over like we've been doing with everything else here. It looks really great. And get those claws on top so everyone can see the beautiful Prince Edward Island lobster we're so lucky to have right close to us. So whenever we want it, we can get some lobster. And now's the time.
This took no time to prepare.
No. And as I said, this is really great if you're trying to teach, if you have any little ones in the house, just starting to get them to cook, to cut the tomatoes in half and cut the cucumber. This is a really great way to do it because it's pretty easy and I would say safe to do.
You can really smell it.
Yeah.
Like I can really start to see it come up.
Yeah. And
Wow.
just for a little bit more fun, more bacon on top. And just a little more cheese. Okay. So that is our Prince Edward Island lobster Cobb salad.
Prince Edward Island Cobb salad.
Yeah.
Wow, this looks amazing. Fantastic. And it took no time for us to make it. There was no special tools, nothing. We basically just used a knife and a spoon and the tongs, and that was it.
And a mason jar and give it a shake.
A mason jar. Can't beat that. And all the local stuff right here in the island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much.
No problem.
So we'll move on to the next one in a few minutes. Thanks very much.